Hey guys, how's it going? So, today we are going to do some more wild constructed play, and as you can see, I just bought the welcome bundle thing for €5 or whatever, and unfortunately I got King Crush, which if you watched my previous video that I did, where I opened like 50 card packs, I already had King Crush. So unfortunately this is just basically going to turn into a little bit of dust. So I got that, and then we can also open the 10 additional packs which I got quickly. Okay, not too bad. I'm not too sure if I already had 2 mind games. We will see just now. Okay, shadow form. I think I already had one. I'm not too sure. Okay, so those are some really mediocre packs so far. And yeah, some really normal card packs to be honest. But it does depend on whether I got the new cards here. So let's just have a look here. Shadow form. Okay, so I didn't have a shadow form, so that's good. And mind games, I think is a 4 mana. Okay, so I actually got 2 epics out of 10 packs. That's actually not too bad, to be honest. It's basically like I got 800 dust, because I mean I would have had to craft these cards eventually, so it's pretty good. 800 dust there. And then the 1 legendary, as I said, that I already have, and then the rest of the cards is 745 dust. So in total that's close to 1,800, no? 1,600? Yes, 1,600 dust. So it's basically like I got a legendary's worth of dust out of that. So it's not too bad. But yeah, like I said, I already got King Crush in the previous video that I did, unfortunately. So I was hoping to get like, I don't know, like let's have a look which ones I could have gotten. Let's have a look here. Classic. Okay, so I could have gotten Scenarius, Prophet Velen, and that's it. I could have just gotten Scenarius or Prophet Velen. I would have liked to get Scenarius since Prophet Velen isn't so powerful and it's not so helpful, to be honest. But yeah, the chances of me getting those 2 legendaries, already having the other 7 legendaries, isn't all that high, to be honest, since you can only get class legendaries out of that pack, welcome pack type thing. So I didn't get too screwed, to be honest. For €5 worth of money I got basically 1,600 worth of dust, which actually isn't too bad. So yeah, today we are going to play a little bit with Gromm Patron. I did a video on Gromm Patron quite a while ago, and it went pretty good, but the Grim Patron deck, or Gromm Patron deck as I call it, didn't work out too good after the what do you call it? Whispers of the Old Gods. So it didn't work out too awesome after that. So I haven't played with it in quite a while. But I now have made a few changes to the deck, and we're going to try it like this. The way that it was, I can quickly show you here. Where is it? There. So this is the way that it was, and this deck I played with like before Whispers of the Old God, so it's quite an old deck. So this is how it was. It didn't have a Ravaging Ghoul, because obviously it was before Whispers of the Old Gods that I played with a Gromm Patron. Instead it had the Unstable Ghoul, which obviously deals 1 damage to everything on the field when it gets killed. So obviously the Ravaging Ghoul is a little bit of a better card, since you can play it whenever you want and deal 1 damage to the board whenever you want. It's not like the Unstable Ghoul that first has to die. And apart from that, there's not a whole lot of changes, to be honest. It still has 2 Death Spites, it still has 2 Frothing Berserkers. It still has the basic mechanics that you play stuff like Whirlwind effects, or also in this case Inner Rage and Blood to Ichor, which is also a new card. You play that on Grim Patron, and then you create more patrons, of course. And the reason why I called it Gromm Patron is because Grommash Hellscream is in the deck. So yeah, we will play with this deck a little bit, Gromm Patron version 2, and we will see how it goes. It is updated with the Whispers of the Old Gods cards. I don't think there's any Karazhan cards in the deck, but there's really no Karazhan cards that would give us any synergy, to be honest. None of these cards will really give us any synergy with Grim Patron, and this entire deck basically revolves around the Grim Patron. So yeah, unfortunately there's no synergy with the Karazhan cards. So we will play with it as is, and we will see how we do.
Magni versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Cosmodon!
So this is a pretty good opening. We don't actually want to execute at the beginning, but I will keep it. And yeah, this hand is actually pretty good.
Hello.
Who's up for an adventure?
Okay, using a Frostbolt on that minion is really quite good, since that's really weak for him. And here we will, I think, just use our hero power probably. Or we can actually use the Fiery War Axe, that will also be pretty good. Traditionally, it's not good to play Fiery War Axe when your opponent doesn't have something on the field, since that will discourage him from playing, let's say, a Mana Worm or something like that. But it's really not that bad, since your opponent will eventually have to play something. So as long as he's not playing anything because he's trying to avoid your Fiery War Axe, then that's actually good. So there's pros and cons to playing the Fiery War Axe without your opponent actually having something on the field. Here we will just play the Piloted Shredder. By the way, as always, with all of my wild constructed videos, if there is something that you think you want to try out, like obviously if you only play standard, then this deck isn't going to work for you all that well, because standard doesn't have stuff like Death's Bite and all of that kind of stuff. So if you want to try out a Grim Patron deck, but you want to try it out in standard, you can always just ask me in the comments below what cards you think, in my opinion, is a good replacement for stuff like Death's Bite and Dr. Boom and all of that that you can't get in the standard mode. I will always try to give you guys my opinion on it. So here we can do a bunch of fancy things. We can just attack it and play execute, or we can play Ravaging Ghoul and execute. I don't really know which would be better, although Ravaging Ghoul, execute and Battle Rage is actually really quite good. So I think we will go for that. So we will do Ravaging Ghoul, Battle Rage and execute.
I strike.
That's quite good.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Here I think Coin Gromm isn't too bad, although it's not awesome. I would have liked to use my hero power and get the healing totem again. That would be amazing, to be honest, but the chances of that happening is really quite low. So I think Coin Gromm is actually pretty good. Okay, now we can start throwing out a bunch of patrons. That will be good. We can do Grim Patron and Blood to Ichor and Whirlwind if we want to. That seems pretty good. Or we can just do Blood to Ichor and then Totemic Call. I think that will be slightly better. Okay, unfortunately the Wrath of Air totem is pretty bad for us at the moment. It's not a whole lot that this will happen, but unfortunately now it did happen. So I think we will attack that in there and execute that thing and see what totem we get. So we will first see what totem we get. Okay, unfortunately not a taunt totem, that would have been the best. And then we play this, we run that in there, we then attack that in there. I actually took 1 extra damage there, but it's not the end of the world. And yeah, we can just then attack the face.
I dream and the world trembles.
Oh, that's pretty brutal. I don't really have a good way of killing Ysera, since I used both of my executes. Okay, Death's Bite is good. And I don't think I want to play both of my armor smiths right now. I don't think that will be all that good. Okay, so we can create a whole bunch of patrons now, obviously.
A fight cold me.
Honor made to fit. Honor made to fit.
It's hammer time. Everyone, get in here.
Now, pretty much, if he doesn't have Flame Strike or Ysera Awakens, then I will win.
Everyone, get in here.
Okay, that's really good. So, unless he cannot kill one of my patrons, if one of my patrons stays alive, then we are in a really good position. Okay, I wonder why he did that. That's extremely strange. Because we actually now have lethal on him. So, he maybe has something in his hand that persuaded him not to kill my other patron, but we really won't know. But I would have won it anyway. The axe would have done 80 damage to his face over 2 turns, since that deck probably doesn't run any taunt, so he would have been dead either way. And it's not a Reno mage, since he runs quite a few duplicates, so yeah.
Magni versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Cosmodon.
Wow, this hand is amazing. I think I will keep all of these. Sir Finley and Fiery War Axe. If you can get those 2 cards in your hand, then it's an extremely good opening for you. And then apart from that, Acolyte of Pain is also very good at beginning, and Blood to Ichor with the Acolyte of Pain is really quite good. Okay, so this is a situation where I will coin out the Fiery War Axe, I think, although that will probably mean that we don't really have anything to do on our second turn. Even though we could just use our hero power, I guess that's acceptable.
So many choices.
So I think let's do that.
It's hammer time.
So to avoid wasting 1 mana, I will just armor up now instead of using the Sir Finley Murgleton. By the way, when you play the Sir Finley Murgleton in this deck, the hero power that you want to get most ideally is the Fire Blast, the Mage hero power. So that will be the best hero power. And depending if you want to rush your opponent down, probably the second best hero power will be the Hunter hero power. So here I will play this and this. And we do not get the Mage hero power, so I guess we will go for the Steady Shot thing. Okay, so we can be pretty certain that this is not a what do you call it, a Reno Mage, because he already has played 2 duplicates, so we are pretty sure that this isn't a Reno Mage at least. So we should be able to whittle the opponent down with our hero power and the weapons eventually. And he's probably an aggro mage, since you would almost never throw a fireball against someone's face unless you're an aggro mage. But fortunately we have quite a lot of healing in the form of the armor smith. We just need to get our whirlwind effects, obviously. And we will probably play the Death's Bite and then use our hero power, I think. And then we can, by doing that, catch our opponent off guard in the next turn by playing the Armor Smith, attacking and playing the Ravaging Ghoul. That should give us around 10 armor. Okay, so here we will just play the Frothing Berserker, and after that we can do Inner Rage and Battle Rage, I think. That will draw us 2 cards, although that's not a whole lot of value. I actually want to get a little bit more value if I can. So I wonder... We can play the Armorsmith, Frothing Berserker, and attack the face and Battle Rage, then that will draw us 3 cards, which actually might be a little bit better. But, that being said, I actually want to keep the Death's Bite for when we have the Grim Patron also. So there's quite a few things that we need to consider. I think playing the Frothing Berserker, Ravaging Ghoul, no, not Ravaging Ghoul, Armorsmith, and no, we don't want to play the Armorsmith right now. We want to keep the Armorsmith when we can get more guys on the field, and if we play the Armorsmith, he's just probably going to kill the Armorsmith because he knows the Armorsmith can heal me for a lot of HP, so he will probably then just kill the Armorsmith and then throw the rest of his spells at my face, and that would be one of the only ways how he can possibly kill me, since he's definitely not going to control the board. He's not a board control deck at all. He's just like a throw all of my spells at your face kind of deck. Okay, a Whirlwind, we can't really use that, but I think we will use this turn to draw a few cards. So we can play that, and then Battle Rage. I think that will be good.
Armor made to fit.
For the Dragon Queen.
Okay, luckily we have the execute for that guy, so that will be good. Unfortunately, 2 of them hit that guy, that's not good. And unfortunately that hit my Armorsmith. I would have wanted it to hit my Ravaging Ghoul, or even my face might have actually been better. So here we can do the Piloted Shredder. Then we can attack into the face, attack that in there, execute that thing. So we will then also, I think, play another Battle Rage after that. So we will do that. Do that. And Battle Rage to draw 3 cards. And then execute that thing. And use our hero power.
I gotta move. We hunger for vengeance.
So yeah, as you can see, he is still attempting to rush my face down, but unfortunately for him that does not work out too well against my deck.
Hello?
Taste my blade.
Well, queen. Magni versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Cosmodon!
Okay, Blood to Icar at the beginning is good, but unfortunately we don't have the Acolyte of Pain, so we will probably throw away all of these and hope to get a weapon and the Acolyte of Pain. Since the Acolyte of Pain is extremely good at the beginning, just to draw more cards. It's better than the Battle Rage at the beginning, since at the beginning you really can't get all that many cards out onto the field for Battle Rage to have any effect. You can maybe get 2 or 3 out at the beginning and get them damaged, but it's not really all that often that you can get that scenario to happen. So we will basically, this hand is quite bad, so we will basically just hope to get a weapon. Okay, that's very good. We can do that and do that. And then if he attacks his worm into our face, which would be the best scenario, then we can play the coin and Death's Bite in the next turn. Now unfortunately he traded, so that makes the coin Death's Bite a much weaker play, to be honest. But it might still be the best play. Let me think a little bit. We can shoot it once with our fireball and then just pass our turn, and then in the next turn we can play the Ravaging Ghoul that will kill it, and then the Ravaging Ghoul will also hit whatever else he plays there, but that's a really slow play, to be honest. So I think coin and Death's Bite will actually be the best, to be honest. Or we can just do Blood to Icar and then shoot it. That's actually a little bit better. I didn't even think about that. Okay, counterspell. Okay, so I think we will just do this as I said with the first option. I think that will probably be good. And luckily he spent 3 mana in the form of the counterspell to counterspell a 1 mana spell. So it's really quite weak on his part, to be honest. So here I think we will just shoot that thing and equip the Fiery War Axe probably.
It's hammer time! The end is coming!
Okay, now this turn I can use to equip my Death's Bite. Let's play this and see if it gets copied.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, so it didn't get copied, so we can just draw a card. And then the next turn we can do a whole bunch of fancy stuff like play Armorsmith, play Grim Patron, maybe Whirlwind, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But I think we'll just play Dr. Boom. Since we know that he's not mirror entity, just playing Dr. Boom will be really good.
A game? So kind of you to join me.
Okay, this opportunity we can actually use to get a whole bunch of armor. But that's not really good, because what I could do is play Armorsmith, attack the face and execute that thing. But there's a chance that the boom bots will hit the Medivh. So that's not really all that awesome. So let me think quickly what to do. If that is effigy or duplicate, then it's obviously really bad for us. So I think we should just attack the face. I think that will honestly be the best course of action.
Armor made to fit.
I gotta move. It's hammer time.
And that should be good. We got him low enough in order to kill him next turn, unless he doesn't clear the entire board.
Pay attention, class.
I am ready to learn.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Okay, so that is almost definitely ice block, to be honest. So I think we should put him down to 1 HP and then just kill him next turn with our fire blast. I think that will probably be the best. Let's just see. Throw out the coin in case it is counterspell, because it can actually be counterspell, I think. I don't think I cast any spells since he played that secret. Okay, so it's not counterspell.
Strike.
So yeah, it is ice block. We were pretty sure about that. And now I think I will just play the piloted shredder. And I can play the Blood Tweaker also, just to gain 1 additional armor. And that should be good. So yeah, the chances of us winning is really high, and yeah, there we won. The chances of him healing his own face or adding armor to his own face there with Yogg-Saron was really low, and that's why it is my opinion that Yogg-Saron is a really weak card, to be honest. I don't run it in any of my decks. So yeah, 3 wins in a row, it's really going quite good so far.
Magni versus Garrosh.
Victory or death!
For cards
Okay, unfortunately this time we don't get the coin. We throw away all of those and hope to get a weapon or a Acolyte of Pain. Okay, 2 Grim Patrons, that's not really good at the beginning.
Oh there.
For the life binder.
And we go up against either a Rush Warrior or a kind of a Dragon Warrior. I think having our hero power will be really quite important in staying alive, so I will probably not cast the Certainly Murgleton at the beginning, just because we really need to be able to stay alive with our hero power. But it already doesn't really look good, to be honest.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, the Death's Bite at least will be good. It's a little bit late. I would have liked to have the Fiery War Axe earlier at the beginning, but I guess late is better than never. Better late than never, at least.
For the life binder.
Okay, Piloted Shredder and then Hero... No, we can't do Piloted Shredder and Hero Power. We can do Hero Power, Certainly Murgleton, Hero Power if we really want to, but that's not really all that good. So I think Grim Patron and Attack will probably be the best.
A fight! Cold hammer time! Everyone, get in here!
Okay, so we can create a few patrons here. We can do Fiery War Axe, Hero Power, Whirlwind, Certainly Murgleton. I think that will be pretty good. So we do that. We do that, obviously. We do a Hero Power, obviously. And yeah, that in there. Hero Power. And now we just need to decide, do we really want to play the Certainly Murgleton? Because like I said, armor is actually quite important. So I think through this entire game I probably won't be playing Certainly Murgleton unless I get my health high enough to the point where I can have like 20 armor thanks to Armorsmith. Only then will I probably play the Certainly Murgleton, to be honest. Okay, Inner Rage is good to give us another patron. And I think we will play this one and play the Inner Rage on that.
Fight! Cold! Everyone, get in here!
I wield the power. Blah.
Okay, Death's Bite and Piloted Shredder will be pretty good here.
Hammer time! I cannot do that!
I can wait no longer.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. We can Hero Power, Certainly Murgleton, Armorsmith and Attack and then use Hero Power again. That will be pretty good. Then the choice is just, do we want to attack into that thing or do we want to attack into his face? I think we do need to kill that thing. So let's use hero power first, I think. And then play Sir Finley Myrtleton and see what we get. Okay. With Dagger Mastery, no, that won't help. So now we basically need to run both of these into his face. Or into his Grommage, otherwise we are going to die. So we will probably do that. And do that. And yeah, run that in there.
The mana.
For the War Chief!
Okay, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13 HP, 13 damage at the moment. So I think probably what will be the best is playing Battle Rage and see what we can get.
Ah, what a rush.
Okay, with Fiery War Axe that doesn't bring us any closer to having lethal because we cannot then play Grommage, I think, unless, let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Okay, so I think just keeping ourselves alive will probably be the best here, and we do that by playing that there, playing that there, and playing that there.
By my beard!
By fire be burned!
Yeah, so that's pretty much a win. I definitely will have enough damage to kill him from 12 HP. No matter what that thing hits, I will be able to kill him. So we have 6, 9, 10, 11, and yeah, that's definitely enough.
Strike! By my beard!
Sparkle.
Taste my blade.
By my beard!
Okay, 4 wins in a row. It's really going quite good.
Magni versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Cosmodon!
Okay, keeping 1 Ravaging Ghoul will be good, and then 1 Acolyte of Pain will be good. And we get the Fiery War Axe, so this is quite a lot better hand than what we had in the previous game. In the previous game we really had quite a bad hand, because what's that, Alexstrasza's champion that the warrior played at the beginning, that thing was able to deal something like 12, I think 12 or 15 damage to our face, which is a horrible amount of damage from 1 minion. So if we just had gotten the Fiery War Axe earlier, then we could have reduced that 12 damage or whatever that thing dealt down to like fucking 3 damage or 6 damage, you know. It really makes quite a big difference if you can just get the weapons out early, since the weapons are really important at the beginning in this particular deck. Okay, this is a pretty good battle rage. And if I do another battle rage right now, then I go up to 10 cards. So I will then burn 1 card unless I use Inner Rage on my Acolyte of Pain. But my opponent can then just deal 1 damage to my Acolyte of Pain, and that will cause me to burn another card. So I think rather I will probably just attack the face with my weapon, or just hero power. I think just doing my hero power will probably be the best. We can take it nice and slow since we already have quite a good hand at the moment.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Okay, so here we can attack that thing and play Ravaging Ghoul, or we can use Blood to Ichor and attack that thing and then hero power and re-equip our Fiery War Axe. I think that will be pretty good. So Blood to Ichor and attack that thing and hero power and equip the Fiery War Axe again. That's pretty good. Luckily he didn't have a, what do you call it, mana worm after the Hobgoblin, because that would have been quite bad for us. Then he would have had a 3/5 mana worm. So here we can attack that thing in there and that thing to the face, or we can attack both of these to that guy, but then that thing stays alive, which isn't really all that good. So I think we definitely need to kill that thing, and then after that we can maybe just play the Sludge Belcher, although that's not really good against the Faceless Summoner, but still I think that is probably the best option, to be honest. Wow, that's a really powerful 5 mana card, so we got a little bit unlucky there. And I don't really think there's any way to kill that thing easily unless we do something like Inner Rage on this guy, attack in there, and then use Whirlwind or something like that, but that's really inefficient, like extremely inefficient. So I think probably the best thing to do here is just play Dr. Boom. Okay, so he's clearly trying to rush us down. But fortunately we have the Armor Smith, so we are going to be able to fortunately gain a lot of armor. So we play the Armor Smith, then we attack that in there. Unfortunately I don't have Execute, that would have been really quite good. So attack that in there, attack that in there. Probably attack that in there. Then we can do that, and we can do that, and then however many whirlwind effects that we need to do in order to just gain a lot of armor, I think. Okay, that's really quite good. So then we do another battle rage, or we can do armor up. I think armor up will probably be the best. And then whirlwind. So that at least gives us quite a bit of armor again. The Armorsmith really has been the MVP over these past few games. It's been really influential in keeping us alive. Okay, piloted shredder, so we can do piloted shredder, whirlwind if we want to. That will give us yet again quite a lot of HP. Or we can just do Gromm Scream into there and then attack that in there and that in there. We are relatively close to killing him. I mean, that's 10 damage, 12 damage, 14 damage, 17 damage, 18 damage, 21 damage. So we are 21 damage. We are just 1 damage away from lethal. So I don't think the guy really knows that. It's quite surprising that we have that amount of burst. So I think we do Gromm Scream in there, and then probably just that, and that. And I of course did the whirlwind, which wasn't really necessary, but I did that in order to gain 3 more armor, since obviously armor is quite important at the moment. Okay, so that was actually a really good Yogg-Saron for him. Basically nothing bad for him happened there, like a pyroblast to the face or anything like that. So I think we will have to deal with that thing, and that probably will mean attacking the Gromm Scream into his Yogg-Saron, to be honest. So I think we will play this and see what that secret is. Okay, we will do that. And Battle Rage. And then, like I said, probably run that in there. And then maybe play another piloted shredder. That will actually be pretty good, I think.
Taste my blade.
So that secret is not counterspell, it's not mirror entity, and it's not duplicate or effigy. So it's probably then something like ice block or ice armor.
My blade be thirsty.
Battle detected. Let's make magic.
Okay, so Death's Bite and attack that thing in there will probably be best. Let's see what we get from this. Okay, not a very good card. And attack that in there. And armor up. And I think if we get the priest hero power, then that's really, really good, obviously. I don't think we can really afford to not get the priest hero power. If we don't get the priest hero power, then
Maybe.
to be honest, it's really quite bad, unless I draw my armor smith. Yeah, I think we will keep our armor, it's really quite important, so we will not play the Certainly Murgleton. Okay, that's quite a good card for him to have gotten, and he has lethal on me, unfortunately. So yeah, it's quite unfortunate that he got two of my very good cards in the form of Frothing Berserker and Deathspite. So yeah, that's our first loss in 5 games, I think. I think we will do 1 or 2 more and then we will call it quits for today.
Magni versus Rexa!
Let the hunt begin.
For Cosmodon!
Okay, execute is good if he gets something like Misha at the beginning, but I think we will throw those away and we will keep those 2.
Target acquired.
Okay, Acolyte of Pain right now won't be all that good. I think I will save the coin for the Deathspite in the next turn so that I can kill that thing, because him being able to deal 2 damage to anything on my side of the field is really quite good, to be honest, so we obviously don't want that to happen. So I think coin Deathspite. It's a little bit awkward now that we got the Fiery War Axe, but there's not really a whole lot that we can do about that. We could do Inner Rage and execute on that thing if we really want to, but I don't think we need to be so desperate, so we will do the Deathspite and that, and then the next turn we can do the Acolyte, and then the Deathspite effect will at least get us 1 card draw from the Acolyte of Pain.
Mind if I roll need?
Okay, let's see here. I think I will attack that thing, since it has a chance of hitting the spit on my Acolyte of Pain, which will be preferable. And indeed that did happen, so that's good. And then we can just Inner Rage that thing. And we can execute that thing. It's not really all that good. I will actually wait and use the Fiery War Axe on that thing. That will probably be better. Okay, I think maybe using the piloted shredder will be good. It's a little bit awkward now that we basically have to execute that thing after he killed the Acolyte of Pain basically for free, but I mean we didn't really know that he was going to play a taunt. So I think execute and then play piloted shredder will probably be the best. Wow, that's quite a powerful guy. Okay, so basically run that in there, there's not much we can do about that. And does that help us? Not really. I think I will still play the Acolyte of Pain. and then equip the Fiery War Axe and Hero Power. So it does help us a little bit, but really not a whole lot.
The master hungers.
Wow, that's quite powerful, and unfortunately I don't have something like Brawl, so after someone does something like that, there's really no way for this deck to fight back, to be honest. It's really quite difficult to come back from that. So I think Inner Rage on that thing and Execute will give us a little bit of a good start, but after that there's not really a whole lot that we can do. I still think that we will probably be dead. I think Armor Smith. Unfortunately I already lost out on 2 armor, but that's not the end of the world. And then Whirlwind. Now if we had another Whirlwind that would have been quite good, but unfortunately we don't. And then we probably attack that thing. And that in there. And I think Battle Rage will be best.
Job done.
So yeah, we are quite close to death, but we have way more cards than our opponent, so it's actually not looking too bad at this moment. And of course, like all hunters, he just tries to rush our face down. Let's see, can we punish him a little bit with Ravaging Ghoul? That will actually be good.
Bring the pain.
Attack that in there. And then, let's see here. Grim Patron and then Ravaging Ghoul. That will actually be pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and do that. And then if we attack the face, and that is probably, what do you call it, explosive trap. I can almost assure you that that is explosive trap, so I don't think we will attack. We will just leave it like this. That will be good. So yeah, this guy still hasn't realized the power of armor, so I can already tell you that this guy is going to lose because he doesn't realize the power of armor. So here we can play Battle Rage, but we don't want to overdraw, obviously. So I think we're going to attack that in there. Play Sludge Belcher to protect our face even more. Play Fiery War Axe and then play Battle Rage. That will put us up to 10 cards. So that's not awesome. I think rather Armor Up and then Fiery War Axe will be good. And then in the next turn we can start by filling up our hand again with the Battle Rage. My opponent is quite stupid because he obviously attacked his 3-1 into my 3-3 because it has 3 HP, and obviously that is explosive trap. So For some reason he thought that I would be an idiot and attack into his face, which would have wiped my entire board, but I don't know, probably this guy just hasn't played against good players, because a good player would play in a way as to not orchestrate that is explosive trap, but by doing that, by killing my 3 health minion, he 100% orchestrated that it is indeed explosive trap. And you try, or you should try, to not give away stuff like that to your opponent, since your opponent can then play around those specific traps. So I can already tell you now, if I play Dr. Boom and I attack into the face, I will gain a fuckload of armor. Like
Well played.
a shitload of armor. So I think that is indeed what we are going to do. We play Dr. Boom and we attack that in there. And then we attack that in there. We attack that in there. And we will just hope that the boom bots obviously hit that thing. And then we attack that in there.
Strike.
And we gain a shitload of armor. 14 armor we will gain. So there's 0 chance that this guy can kill us now, and we just hope that thing dies, and indeed it does. And then we play Throbbing Berserker. And it's now game over for this guy, since his entire deck basically depends on just rushing your opponent down. So unless he gets N'Zoth, obviously N'Zoth will be difficult to deal with, but it will not be impossible to deal with. So unless he gets N'Zoth, I don't really see this guy winning at all, just due to the few stupid mistakes that he has made.
By my beard! By my beard!
So yeah, this guy pretty much just gave up. He honestly, like I said, in that one turn made a gargantuan mistake by not killing the armorsmith, since that one armorsmith in the end probably resulted in me gaining upwards of 10 HP just from him not killing that one armorsmith. I really gained like at least 10 HP from that one armorsmith. So yeah, that guy pretty much made himself lose. I'm not saying that if he killed the armorsmith that I wouldn't still have won, since I still would have gained a lot of HP from that one remaining armorsmith. Obviously I had 2 armorsmiths on the field, but still, that guy really didn't play all that well, or at least he didn't play the way that I would have played. But of course I know how to play around this deck. Basically, if you go with a face deck like he's against a deck like this, which is more like a slow deck, then you really need to stop your opponent from gaining armor and HP and all of that. So yeah, we played 5 games. We lost 1 game. I can't really remember exactly how we lost that 1 game, but I think it was against the mage that rushed us down. I think that was the 1 game that we lost. So yeah, but that also was just a game that we lost because our HP ran out. Like if we just could have held out a little bit longer and maybe gotten the armorsmith to give us a little bit more HP, then I'm certain that we would have been able to win that one. So through these 5 games we didn't really get to use the Sir Finley Murgleton into Fire Blast combo, because the idea is that you play Sir Finley Murgleton and you get the mage hero power, the Fire Blast, and then you Fire Blast your Grim Patrons in order to create more of them on the field, and you also Fire Blast your Acolyte of Pain to draw cards. So In case you're wondering why the Certainly Murkleton is in the deck, that is why he is in the deck. But if you can't get the Mage Hero Power, then you can probably go for the Hunter Hero Power or the Priest Hero Power. Priest Hero Power is also quite good, since you can still heal yourself and you can heal your Grim Patrons. So you can do something like a Whirlwind, and you can then heal your Grim Patron again. So your Grim Patron basically will just spawn more and more patrons. And throughout all of these 5 games or 6 games or whatever, we didn't really get an opportunity to really use the Grim Patron all that much. I mean, there was one game where I think we had 3 Grim Patrons on the field, but I mean, that's not really even the big amount of Grim Patrons which you can get. There are some games which I've played where on turn 6 you play Grim Patron, you play Blood to Ichor on that Grim Patron, and then on the next turn you do like a Whirlwind or a Ravaging Ghoul Whirlwind, and then your entire fucking board is filled with Grim Patrons. So that's the idea behind the deck. But even though we didn't get a chance to do that in all of these 6 games, that just goes to show that you can win games, you can beat your opponent without even getting Grim Patron, without getting Grim Patron value. So it's really quite a good testament to how powerful the deck is, because let's say you build your deck around Cthulhu, or you build your deck around Yogg-Saron, or anything like that, or if you build your deck around Grim Patron, and you are able to beat your opponent without getting that card, like without getting Cthulhu, or without drawing Yogg-Saron, or without drawing Grim Patron, then that's a really good testament to how powerful the deck is. And we pretty much managed to beat 5 opponents without even really getting a lot of value from the Grim Patron. You know, in some of the games we didn't even draw the Grim Patron at all. So that's really a very good sign that the deck is very powerful even without Grim Patron. And when you actually do get the Mage Hero Power and you can create more Grim Patrons with your Hero Power, then that's extremely good, because your opponent just can't get rid of the damn Grim Patrons, because you just keep on creating more and more and more and more. One thing that I have thought about a little bit is putting Prince Malchezaar into the deck, if you can believe that, because as you saw just now in the previous game, the Hunter still had something like 10 or 12 cards remaining in his deck, and we only had 4 cards remaining in our deck. So you pretty much, thanks to the Acolyte of Pains and Battle Rage, you pretty much in the end of the game start running out of cards very quickly. So putting in Prince Malchezaar obviously adds 5 additional cards to your deck. So that's one thing that I might play with a little bit in the future. Maybe if you're playing a standard version of this deck, if you want to play this deck in standard, you could obviously remove Dr. Boom, remove Sludge Belcher, remove Piloted Shredder, Death's Bite, and then you can include Prince Malchezaar and just some other Whirlwind effects that can replace the Death's Bite. Stuff like Revenge or Ravage or whatever. Yeah, Revenge, that will be pretty good. And yeah, otherwise than that, you guys can just ask me in the comments if you want to play this deck in standard. You can just ask me what other cards you think will be good. But basically for something like Dr. Boom, you just put in another strong 7 or 8 drop legendary, preferably something like, I don't know, Emperor Thorsan or something like that, that can work in standard instead of the Dr. Boom, because Dr. Boom is basically just there to help you in the mid game, like turn 6, 7, 8, just help you to get a little bit more pressure on the field. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We got a King Crush that we disenchanted, we got 10 other packs that we opened, and we played a little bit with the deck, and at the end of the day we played 6 games and we won 5 of them, so that's basically like a 80% win rate, which is pretty damn good, to be honest. And yeah, we did that at rank 15, but last month I played this deck at rank 5 and I still did pretty good, around about a 70% win rate in wild, obviously. So it's really quite a good deck. Go ahead and try it out if you want to. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.